Oh man, this always happens. Anyway, what is up, people? This is Fallout What If here, and today I'm going to be doing What If Deku Was a Speedster God Part 1, or is it Part 2? I don't really know. I'll check on the comments. And if you guys are wondering where's Part 3 to Far Cry Primal, the one that says Part 4 is actually Part 3 because I kind of messed it up. So, yeah. I can't edit it out for some reason. So, yeah. It's going to stay there. And pretty much that's it. So, here's the thing. This one's going to be 30 minutes because I want to do the God of War one because I know you guys like the God the God of War one. But in the 500 special, I'm going to actually be doing something else as well. Or the 400 special, I don't really care. I just know that I'm going to try to combine a lot of the I'm going to try to combine the Deku universe, the multi-Deku universe, whatever, in only one special, alright? And one of the specials that I'm going to do. Alright, so, here we go. After what happened during the time Deku became a Speedster God, which he has the Speed Force, but he also has Zeus's gift. And he's not going to be just a weakling, like, he's not going to fight anybody. Like I said before, oh, sorry. Dang it. Anyway, like I said before, he's going to learn different types of martial arts. And he's also going to be using Thunderbolt, like Thunder Blasts, and what's called different types of weapons. But his favorite one is katana. Or shurikens, as they may call it. So yeah, he's probably like a ninja. He's mostly a ninja, but yeah, he has all that speedster glory on him. So he's going to be the fastest ninja alive. Anyway, Deku is there, and Iida saw what happened, all of it. Even Ingenium, which if I didn't say he saw some of it, yeah, he's seen what Deku actually did. Only like 2 seconds of seeing that, and he's like, that is the most fastest man or fastest boy that I've ever seen in my entire life. I couldn't even see a thing. It was so much of a blur. Man, I don't know how fast he was going, but maybe he could probably be a sidekick of mine. Or if he's faster than me, maybe I'm gonna be the sidekick. It doesn't matter. So, Ingenium walks in there and talks to the kids and does all that. And Ingenium says, young Iida, or he didn't say that, Iida, who's the boy that, who you said doesn't have a quirk? He's trying to calm all the kids down, and a lot of them are happy, except for Bakugo. Because Bakugo just saw Deku using his quirk, or what he believes to be his quirk. Because he didn't, because the lightning was unexpected. So he thinks that probably the lightning did something to make him work. He's only thinking like as a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, what they probably think what could have happened. So Deku said, hi, Mr. Ingenium. I'm Deku. And Deku doesn't know this all. This is all something like, this is kind of weird for him. This is his first time to actually unleash a quirk, or most likely it's the first time that Deku has actually done this. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to feel. He feels very amazing inside. All this strength building inside of him, all this speed. But after that, Deku falls into a coma because the lightning in him started surging, and it only jump started just a couple of seconds ago. If you guys think this kind of sucks, watch the watch the Flash on CW. He had a coma too. All right, there we go. So Deku's in a coma, and Iida sees this, and he's shocked, or she's shocked, and she runs up to Deku and says, "No, no, 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 no! You don't die, don't die! What's happening? Ingenium, help him!" And Ingenium's carrying him. It says, "Oh, jeez, I need a medic." But the servers in the room are not actually working. Like I said, somebody used the jamming quirk, so it's not going to work for a while. So what he does is run at full speed using Recipio Burst second form, which I just made up, but since Ingenium is much more older, he can go a second level of Recipio Burst. So he runs at top speed to the nearest medical clinic. And Deku is situated inside, on top of a bed. And they're what's called performing surgery, or not surgery, they're performing medical, like, procedures on him. I don't know how this works, or how somebody in a coma does it. But later that day, it says that Deku activated something, probably his quirk. And his quirk got a little too strong for him. And Iida says, but the lightning bolt slammed through Deku. He got stabbed through with the particle accelerator. And Iida's taking this into mind, like, maybe when he got stabbed and all the chemicals got to him, it probably surged through his body and probably awakening his quirk. But since he still got attacked by lightning, it's probably taking its toll on him, which he's thinking, and which isn't actually true, or he's wrong about it. So anyway, Deku is in his mindscape, and he sees nothing more but that's just a field of flowers. And Deku feels this sort of happiness, but then thunder erupts, and it's black thunder. Or there's a lot of black clouds. It's raining and it's thundering. And then, before you know it, Zeus pops in, saying, "Hello, young man. You do not know me, but I know you. I've seen you and what you have done. But I know that you didn't have any choice. And with little time, I gave you my gift." And Deku's like, "Wait, who are you?" And hold on, give me a second. Alright. Okay. So, Deku says, "Who are you?" And Zeus says, yeah, I kind of forgot that. "My name is Zeus." And Deku says, "Are you talking about the god of thunder, the god of all gods?" And this isn't what's called God of War Zeus, because this one is much more generous. This is kind of like Hercules, the Disney movie Zeus. He's much more happier. And Deku says, "Oh, okay," but it's not really him. It's just like a happier version of Zeus. So Deku says, "So why am I here? Is this heaven?" And Zeus is laughing and said, No, child, this is not heaven. What happened was that you kind of got into a little accident, and now you're in a hospital. I believe they call it comas, I believe it's called a coma that you humans call it, right? And Deku's like, "Wait a minute, I'm in a coma?" And Deku's like kind of shocked, and Zeus is like, yes, child, but you're not going to die. I put my powers in you, and there's also this weird aura around you. Probably when that weird stabby mechanism charged its whatever energy inside of you, you obtain a kind of speed force, or whatever kind of force it is. It's going around your body, and I can see its speed. It's as fast as Hermes. And Deku's like, Hermes? I learned this in school, but I don't know what he is. And that's when Hermes just walks right behind him and says, "Hiya, kid. I'm Hermes. How you doing today?" So you're the new god of speed. Well, I'm the first one, so I guess we should talk a bit. And Zeus is like, "Oh, you're here. Welcome." So, this is Hermes. And Deku is shocked because he didn't even hear him. And Zeus is like, "Oh yes, I forgot." He kind of has a habit of, sneaking up on people. Well, that's what you get for having the god of speed. And Hermes like, whoa, kid, settle down, come on now. Don't worry, I'm not going to bite you. I probably got razor sharp teeth, but still not going to bite you. Have a seat. And Zeus just performs some kind of magical... He works his magic, and there's a seat and a table. And Deku's all like, "Is this your quirk?" And Zeus is like, "Come on, kid. I do not have quirks. I have powers that rival any of my other successors and... well, not successors. Anybody else around here." And Zeus says, "There's a lot of us. We have Aphrodite. She's the woman that, all the men are attracted to." And he's like, "Whoa." Or, I forgot, Persephone? Yeah, Aphrodite or something like that. One of those two. He says, "Whoa, she's beautiful. That's the most beautifulest woman I ever seen. Except for..." And he kind of gets red, and and Zeus is like, "Yeah, she is the god of beauty. And you're probably thinking about that little girl with, I guess, the spectacles." Anyway, Zeus says, "Hey, Hermes, since you guys are here, we might as well get something to eat." And that's when Zeus prepares a feast. And Deku just gets shocked. He gets shocked. And he says, "Whoa, that kind of shocked me for a minute." And Hermes is like, "Cute kid. Very cute." But anyway, he's eating food at top speed, as much as he can, and Deku is getting hungry. And Zeus says, "Don't worry, kid. This is food. Well, what we consider food, which is like turkey and sandwiches, loaf of bread, corn, and all that good stuff." And Deku's like, "I can eat this?" And Zeus says, "Yes, I allow this. Besides, you are a guest here, and I treat my guests with respect. Most of them, at least." And Deku's like, "Oh, okay." He eats it, and he's excited. He's happy. It's the first time he's been shown respect by gods. Or, this isn't the first time... well, technically, this is the first time he's received any kind of respect. Besides Iida. Because not a lot of the kids talk to him and play with him. And he remembers that the villains hurt him and no heroes came. And Deku becomes a little more mad. And Zeus sees this and says, "Ah, yes, I can see through your memories. It's kind of a shame to see that such a good boy like you having to go through that much pain. It hurt, huh?" And Deku says, "Yes, it hurt a lot. Why wasn't there any heroes?" And Zeus says, "Sometimes heroes don't come all the time. Sometimes we are late. There was a time that I couldn't save my son." And he talks about Hercules. and the time that I kind of failed some of the people on Olympus. And he's talking about the people who worship the gods. And he says, but it doesn't matter. Look, kid, here's what I'm going to tell you. I made you a champion of mine. You have god powers now. And you can technically invite one person to be here with you. Because since you have my the power of speed itself, I've given you this so that way you can stay alive. Because technically, kid, you were supposed to die. But I doubt that you would have probably died anyway. Seeing that this speed force, as people call it, well, I want to see what this speed force is. And since you are in your body, kind of, and everything is in there, including that speed force thingy. I don't know why I call it that, but it's your body moving at maximum speeds and your temperature is rising. It's sometimes hot and sometimes cold. Electricity comes out of it, but right now you don't even have an inch of my power. But you are still permitted to be inside my realm. So, what I want you to do is race Hermes. And Hermes is like, oh boy, this is the first time I've ever had a race. And what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 millennia? We'll say 5. I kind of forget a time. And Zeus says it was 4. It was 4. Come on now, Hermes, get with the times. And they're not wearing like what they wore, like what the gods usually wear. They're mostly wearing regular human clothes. All of them are. They don't actually care. There's no law in their system saying, oh, you must be old and you have to look like it. No, they wear fashionable stuff. But Hermes is getting happy and he's preparing himself by wearing marathoner clothes. Marathon runner clothes. And Deku says, oh, is that... oh, wait, you're not a hero. You don't have... Okay. So, what should I wear? And Hermes says, well... Okay, I'm sorry. Well, kid, I think this will do better. And he gives him a marathoner suit. Which isn't this right here. It's actually what people running in marathons usually wear. Like the very short shorts and a tank top. But Deku's like, this feels kind of girly. And Hermes is like, girly? Believe me, if you want to have girly, you should ask the god of beauty. The goddess of beauty. Now that's girly. And Zeus is like, if the kid doesn't feel comfortable, then I think we should give him something else. And Deku is wearing shorts now. Regular shorts. And he doesn't have a shirt or anything, and Hermes is just picking out of his out of a magical window. And Zeus is like, wait a minute, kid. You're back. It shows a kind of marking. It looks like a thunderbolt. Oh, wait a minute. That's actually the bolt I gave you. Never mind. So, now, kid. Let's see, what should we give you? Because everybody wants to feel comfortable when they do something. Let's see. You said you wanted to be a hero, right, kid? Yes, Mr. Zeus. No. Please, calm down. My father calls me Mr. Zeus. You just call me Zeus. Don't worry about that. That's informal. And I forgot who's his father, but he does actually... For some reason, he has a father, even though Zeus is technically the god of all gods of Greece. And he says, here's the thing. I don't know what to give you, but I'm having an idea. You ran so fast, and we don't want you to burn your clothes. So why don't I give you this kind of bodysuit? And the goddess of beauty comes up to him and says, "Oh, if it's fashion you want, then I think you're gonna have to have me as well. Besides, if you become a man, and looking at your face, I can tell that'll become, a delicious delight, as she calls it, then I think you're gonna have to wear this. It's a red leotard." And Hermes like, "Oh, wait a minute, come on now, lady. We're trying to make him look awesome. We don't want him to look a little fruity around the ridges, as people call it these days. Right?" And Deku's like, I don't talk with a lot of people. I don't really know what these meanings are. Besides, I think this is kind of something for adults." And Hermes like, "Yeah, oh, yes. Okay. Well, I want you to have these." And Zeus says, "Great idea." Because they know what they can read each other's minds and whatnot. And they give Deku these two freaking little wings, as you can see in the picture right now. And what's called the goddess of beauty is like, "Oh yes, that's kind of lovely. And why don't we give him a cowl as well? Might as well make him look the part of a hero." And they start working on him, and Deku's like, "Okay," and all that stuff. And he has his freaking a little bit of armor on him, and he's becoming much more covered up because it's a leotard. He looks like a gymnast, and now he's looking the part of Flash. And they're thinking something's missing. Alright, we have the gold lining, the gold threading. Let's see, what else? Have kind of a little bit of armor on each side. Let's see, his shoes are much more adaptable to running as well. But something is missing. And Deku says, my chest kind of hurts." And he gets out of the suit for a second. And Zeus sees the Thunderbolt again. And he's like, yes, why didn't I think of this sooner? Boy, sometimes you're a genius. Well, Izuku, you are a genius, even if you don't know it. And Deku's like, "What do you mean?" And Zeus grabs a Thunderbolt and shoots it right at him. And Deku, without even thinking, starts to freaking run. But he runs straight to him. And the Thunderbolt clashes with Deku. And he sees a freaking lightning bolt. A gold lightning bolt on his chest. As you can see right there on the picture. And Deku's like, wait, what just happened? I thought... And Deku's like, oh wow, this actually looks kind of cool. Zeus saying, of course, that's something that we always miss. A bit of gold in our attire. And Zeus says, "Well, kid, I guess you have a suit now. You look decent. And this isn't too flashy, so nobody's going to automatically see you all the time anyway if you run. And having a cape is sometimes a little more, how do I say it, tacky. So, anyway, why don't you raise Hermes?" And Deku doesn't know this, but they're actually racing to the point of Deku actually waking up. Zeus doesn't tell him this, but the moment he comes inside out of his mindscape and wakes up, that's when Deku is going to actually earn Hermes or Zeus's speed. So, Zeus says 3, 2, 1, and then thunder comes down. Boom! And then Deku and Hermes run at full speed, running and running and running. But there's no actual sign of what's called points, or as people call it, waypoints. So they don't know where they're going. But Hermes is like, well, if you can think with your heart, kid, you can probably see that, you know. And Deku's like, see what? Hermes is like, you know, the way. Look, kid, sometimes I can't tell you. You gotta learn this stuff by yourself. You are going to be inheriting speed from Zeus and become the second god of speed. So, anyway, follow your heart, kid. Where is it that you want to go? And Deku says, I don't really know. While them both running as fast as they can. And Hermes is thinking, wow, this kid's got force and a lot of speed. I've never seen a lot of electricity come out of my body, but probably because of what he has on there inside his body. That speed force, as Zeus called it, right? Yes, maybe that's why he's generating a lot of electricity. Well, it doesn't matter. The kid's fast, and that's all I care about. And he races. And Deku is still thinking, what is he going to do? What is he thinking of? Well, what he's thinking about is going home, talking to Iida, meeting Ingenium, and most of all, wanting to be a hero to protect those. And Zeus is in his mind and saying, you're going to be my champion. Izuku Midoriya, was it? And Zeus thinks, yes, that's going to be it right there. And Deku just heard a voice either way. It says, wait a minute, what just happened? And Zeus is like, oh, wait, I forgot. I can telepathically communicate with you. So, kid, do you want to be my champion and inherit my speed? Besides the speed you have right now, you'll have something as, since you have speed force and you have God speed, I should give you a fusion between the two. What about God Speeder? Speeder God. Speedster God. Wait a minute. Hermes, what should I call him? I don't know. The kid doesn't know what to pick either way. And I almost see the finish line, so we should hurry up and tell him. Or he should tell us. Doesn't matter. I'm getting hungry. And Zeus says, calm down. Now, what do you want to call yourself? And Deku's thinking and thinking. He almost sees a finish line, and he thinks a million times faster than he would. Until he finds the right one. All the combinations of word, and all the words that he could ever think of that's relative to speed and God. He only just thinks of this word. Speedster God. And Zeus is like, it's your name, kid. And with this, here. And he chucks his lightning bolt all the way through Deku. And then, without even a second, how do I say this? Without a shadow of a doubt, Deku becomes the god again of speed. And then, the voice hearing the crumbling sounds of lightning and thunder rolling together goes inside Deku, and it makes a lightning sound. And then Deku speeds off even faster than he would. And Hermes like, whoa, this kid's hauling a lot of ass, doesn't he? And Zeus is saying, come on now. You knew that he was going to probably become much more faster than you. Besides, I still like having you around. Even though sometimes your jokes are corny, your voice is a little annoying, and sometimes you're just, all in general. And Hermes like, yes, I know, I'm lovable. Now, I'm hungry. What should we eat now? And just like, well, I don't know. Hercules talks to Zeus. Well, since he was behind him most of the time, saying, that kid, huh? He's gonna go far, I can see that. He has a lot of potential and a lot of willpower. And Zeus is like, yes, I know. But you are my son after all. You should know this kind of stuff. Since he also inherited your powers as well. Since you are known as the god of strength. And Hercules is like, yeah. Anyway, I'm hungry as well. What are we gonna eat? And Zeus is like, oh man, one child comes over here and you're all thinking about food. Yeah, I'm hungry too, let's go. And then, after that, Deku's mindscape, comes back inside. Or he regains consciousness. And lightning shooting inside of his eyes as he wakes up. And after that, his lightning just disappears for a while. Deku's thinking, oh man, what a weird dream. And he's not wearing the suit, and he's thinking, yeah, this was just a dream, right? But it felt, sounded, and tasted so real. And that's when Iida wakes up, and she was holding his hand the whole time, and says, Deku, you're finally awake. And Inko was called, well, he's not, Inko's not there, like, Inko is going to be called, but, hold on. Sorry, I was, bathroom time for me. But anyway, Inko isn't there just because she isn't. She didn't leave Deku or anything like that. She actually loves him. She protects him a lot more. She keeps him inside the house. Knowing the fact that if anybody knows that he's quirkless, she might think people would probably pick on him or call him a freak and all that. But she's she's at work. And Deku's father is at work as well. But he works overseas. But here's the thing. He's going to be in the story a little bit more. Not saying there's going to be big changes. But he's going to actually be one of the people that made the particle accelerator. Just keep that in the future. And plus, if he's overseas, Deku could technically speed to him or run all the way over there in just a matter of, in an hour or so? But anyway, here's the thing. Deku wakes up. Iida's holding him, saying, you big idiot, why did you have to do all that? You know how worried I was? And Deku's like, yeah, I'm sorry. And why did you have an accident? Or what happened to you? And Deku just says, look, I don't know what happened to me at all. To be honest, this is a first for me. But I want to say, Iida, thank you a lot for being there for me. And without even thinking it, he just kisses her on the cheek. Just a little peck. And they're 8 years old, so yeah, they would probably do that. And Iida blushes and says, and yeah, she just puffs up and turns red. Or her head just poofs in smoke and just says, and she kind of passes out. And Deku, without thinking, runs to her and catches her. Which isn't really like, she's technically a centimeter away, but he just runs around the other side of the room, like, he's basically, in his mind, just running across the bed, or getting on the upper side of the bed where she's at, running around the bed, and catching her. It says, Iida? Wake up, Iida. No, you can't do this. I'm awake, and now I'm awake, and now you're going to sleep? This is not... Oh, jeez. There's supposed to be a doctor around here. Freaking idiots. And he just places her on the bed. This is when Ingenia walks in and says, wait, what's going on here? You're on the ground, and she's on the bed. What's happening here? Why do I keep seeing the two of you into this kind of... Why do I keep seeing you in these shenanigans? And Deku says, wait a minute, you're Ingenium. And Ingenium says, yeah, I'm Ingenium. And Deku says, can I have your autograph? And Ingenium says, let me see, yeah. And Deku's like, thank you. And Iida passed out because I kissed her, and he just said, oh, sheesh. And Deku's like, so you're the guy she likes. Well, I think you're probably alright. And I wanted to say that your speed was unlike anything he's ever seen before. And Deku says, yeah, I woke up and my quirk started to, I guess, act up. And he says, but wait a minute. They said that you got stabbed and you got shot. How did you not dodge all that stuff? You were a blur, so even a bullet couldn't catch you. And Deku says, probably I wasn't thinking too much and I was kind of getting distracted. And Ingenium's like, oh yeah, I forgot. He's still a kid after all. He's thinking right now, he's still a kid after all. Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to just automatically get out of that what's called unscathed, even with super speed. And Deku says, alright, so yeah, and just says, I'm hungry. And Iida and Ingenium says, wait, there's actually a place where people can run around at, so that way they can get their bodies back in shape. It's basically a coping thing, or rehabilitation. Why don't we test out how fast you are? You can race me. And Deku's like, wait a minute, I can race you? Wow, that's such an honor. And Ingenium says, yes, it's kind of an honor, but it doesn't matter. Do you want to race? And Deku says, yes. So they go to the track where basically people that have to rehabilitate go to, or whatever I just said. And he says, alright, I know you're hungry, but if by the off chance you can beat me, I will treat you to how much food you want. And not only that, if you want, you can ask me for anything. And I'll even let you date my sister. And Deku's like, oh, okay. And he says, since you have a speed quirk and I have a speed quirk, we will race around this thing 10 times. Which is basically what's called, I don't know how long or how much is, how like, I don't know how much of a distance it is, but let's just say it's kind of like how high schools have their freaking track. So Iida says, on your mark, get set, go. And without even using his recipial burst, Deku just goes. And his speed once again goes crack-a-boom. And Deku hits the freaking dude's, the robot's hand, which is right there, and it says 1. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Ingenium doesn't see Deku when he's running. he's basically on like his first one, even though he's Recipio Burst level 2 or Mark 2 or yeah, second level. And he just gets there in 10 seconds. But Deku hit all of his or let's say 15 seconds. And Deku just hit all of it in 10 seconds. And Ingenium sees Deku stopping, and he's like, "Oh, what's the matter, kid? Are you okay?" And Deku says, "No, I finished." And then Ingenium's like, "Look, kid, I understand you have a speed quirk, but come on now, you don't have to lie to me. I don't care if you actually are slower or anything. It's the thought that counts." And Ingenium sees this. He actually sees Deku running. Well, not running. He sees the hand thing, which, if you guys don't know, there's a robotic hand that if you hit it after you finish a lap, then it marks it. And he says, "Did you hit this a couple of times? Look, kid, it doesn't matter if you're slower than me at all. I still will respect you." And Deku says, "No, I actually ran." And Ingenium was like, "Oh, come on, kid. Okay, say you can run this fast. I'll mark you myself. And if you can go around and touch my hand 10 times, then, you know what? I'll treat you to ice cream. All the food you want and dessert." And Deku's like, "Okay." And he says, "If you actually ran so much, you would have been tired." And Deku says, "I don't know why. I don't feel tired. I just want to go again." And Ingenium is a little spooked because he sees Deku's aura. It's becoming much more red and black. But the one thing he notices is that Deku's eyes are sparking electricity. His body is sparking electricity. And Ingenium's kind of horrified, but he knows that it's still a kid. So Deku's still pure in his eyes. And he says, "All right, kid, let's go. On your marks, get set, go." And Deku runs again and hits Ingenium's hand. And it's a really good slap. And he's like, "Ow. What the heck? Wait, where's... Ow." And he's trying to look as fast as he can because he can see and he can go up to Mach 3. But Deku can go to Mach 7 and occasionally go Mach 8 if he pushes it. Mach 9 and 10 are really dangerous. But Deku just goes and hits his hand again. But he's going up to Mach 5. And Ingenium sees actually how fast he's going. But it's kind of hard for him to see. Because Deku's only using his speed force. He's not using the rest of it. Because if he does use his god speed, which if Hermes wasn't even counting that as fast when he was racing Deku, then that means he can go even faster than the speed force could ever. And he's only hitting his hand, and he sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then he says, "Sheesh. That's a good hand on him, man." And his hand is like pink. His whole hand is pink. Because Deku just slapped it with enough force that it made his whole hand throb in pain. And it feels so bad. But he knows it's just like when you sprain your ankle or something like that. He just, his hand just hurts for a while. He'll get over it. And Deku says, "Is that good enough? Or do you want me to go faster?" And Ingenium gets kind of scared and says, "Wait a minute. What do you mean faster?" And Deku says, "Yeah, I feel like I can even go faster than this. Even twice as fast if I want to." Ingenium gets spooked, and he says, wait a minute, you twice as fast? And Deku says, yeah, but I'm not even using the other speed that I have. It feels kind of weird, but if I can do this with just this speed, and I add it with the speed that I'm not using, I can probably go even 3 times of that. And Deku is serious, which that truly horrifies freaking Ingenium. Because remember, Ingenium can go up to Mach 3 with only level 2. Mach 4 if he pushes it. But Deku can go up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he combines both of them. He can go up to Mach 15. Which nobody's ever actually done when running. Nobody was ever that fast. And Mach 20 is much more dangerous because not only that, if he touches anything while running, it would be like paper slicing a freaking watermelon. But it could happen. That's what I'm trying to think. I was thinking that. But Ingenium's like, this kid is truly a power or a force to be reckoned with. And Deku's like, yeah, and not only that, I can probably do something with my body. And Ingenium's like, wait a minute, what can you do? And Deku has a rock. He doesn't have a rock. He actually says, Ingenium, can you throw this at me as hard as you can with your freaking with your speed? And he throws an actual dumbbell. It's just a 5-weight one, and he says, wait a minute, what are you gonna do? And Deku says, trust me, I think I can do this. I've done this a couple of times, but that was only when I was fighting the bad guys. And Ingenium's like, alright, this kid can go very fast, so let's see what he can do. And he throws it as hard as he can, which was probably 90 miles per hour. And it hits Deku. And Ingenium's like, wait a minute, this wasn't supposed to happen. And he runs to it, but he sees it going past him. And Ingenium's like, what the heck just happened? And Deku is actually phasing through it. Which nobody's ever actually done, as far as he knows. And he's like, kid, what the heck are you? This speed, this power, and the electricity, this is like something out of a movie or something. And Deku's like, I don't know, but yeah, this is my first time actually going and trying out my quirk without having to fight. And Ingenium's horrified because he knows that Deku didn't actually have a quirk because of Iida, but he would have thought maybe he probably had one, but he didn't know. Probably trained it, but no, this kid is actually fast, and this is something that he can't comprehend. But Deku says, so Ingenium, since I did beat you and you did promise me lunch and ice cream, can we go now? And Ingenium's like, yeah, well, sure. I'm not gonna break my promise to him. No. Wait a minute. If Iida gets married to him, and with our quirk, even though our quirk doesn't even compare to his, he could be probably an Ingenium. This kid can probably give him his quirk, or quirk, and they'll have a kid, and that could be an Ingenium, which would be the best one that they ever had. And Deku is looking at him saying, what's happened? And Ingenium says, look, do you like my sister? And Deku says, yes, I do. A lot, actually. She's one of the nicest people that I've ever met. She does do stuff with her hands, and she is sometimes serious, but she's a kind person, and I like that about her. And Jenny was like, oh yes, I gotta play Cupid for these two. So, that's where I'm gonna leave it off. I hope you guys liked it, and if not, hey, like, comment, subscribe, like I always said, and please do subscribe. But anyway, this is Fallout What If Here, and bye.